I am the maintenance technician of technology here at Sonora High School, and we're going to go over some of the tools that you guys will be using to take apart a Chromebook. So here we go. First off is going to be your anti-static bracelet. So what this does is it grounds you. It has this metal plate here that has to be touching your skin at any point in time. And then you're able to clip this to any other piece of metal to ground yourself so you don't have any static that can destroy any of the materials inside of the Chromebook. For basics, taking everything apart, you're going to start off with your screwdriver. These are extendable, so if you did need to get into some longer areas, you're able to do so. If I can get this one back in here. Majority of what you're going to be using is going to be the Phillips heads. So any of the tiny Phillips heads that we have in here, which are right here, is going to be what's going to get out a majority of the screws that are holding all of the parts together. You've got the different heads on here for different size screws. There's only three different types of screws that you'll run into, which will require your right here. This is going to be your PZ00 and your PZ0. Those are the sizes of the actual Phillips heads themselves. Every now and again, you're going to run into some screws that are going to require the Torx bits, which are all of your T's. So T7 through T20. T20 is kind of large. You're going to work mainly with some of the ones in the middle here, which are going to be the T6 and the T10. And the kit itself gives you a whole bunch of additionals in case you run into any other wacky screws that I've never run into before, but they're all there. Another important tool is going to be your flex adapter for the screwdriver itself. This is going to allow you to connect it and get into specific locations that are kind of hard to reach. So you can actually hold the tip here while holding the screwdriver and twist to get around corners and into some tight areas. That's going to be your basics for any of the screws that you're going to take out. The other thing we're going to go over is going to be the spudgers or pry tools. They're called spudgers technically, but they are a pry tool, and they're designed to be able to pull off the back plastic pieces, the monitors, and some of the other things that you'll run into. These spongers on the left, the smaller ones, are going to be the ones that are going to get you into some of the smaller nooks and crannies. And they're plastic, so they're designed not to damage any of the parts that are in there. A lot of the times you'll end up needing one or two at the same time. Generally, I will take the larger or the smaller spudger to open up a crack into the back of the case, and I'll use the longer one to run it along the edge. And you'll feel when you get to clips, as soon as you feel a clip, you'll give it a little pop and it'll pop those back pieces off. Most importantly is to make sure that you have all the screws off prior to doing so, or you could potentially crack the back case. The large spudger here is one that's going to be utilized for pulling off the back case where the monitor's at. And so this will get underneath and just gives you a wider volume to be able to go in and crack the clips in order to break off some of them. The last pieces that you'll end up needing are going to be some of the metal spongers. So also the pry tools. These ones, if you need a little bit more leverage, will give you that instead of the plastic ones here. So some of the tighter fits, if you have a clip that's being troublesome, you've got this triangle clip here that gets underneath the plastic itself in order to hit the clip to pop those off. Same thing on this side. You can just take it and run it along the case in order to get some of those out. Yeah, I mean, that's basically the breakdown of everything that you, oh, sorry, I missed one. On the side over here, you're gonna have different types of tweezers. These are gonna come in very handy for pulling screws out of small areas, or if you drop screws behind any of the boards and plates. Each one will work differently for different areas. This is also gonna be what you're gonna need in order to unplug some of the cables on the boards. Some of the cables on the boards are tiny. They're less than 1/8 of an inch wide, and you're not going to be able to get them with your fingers, which is where these come in handy to be able to grip that without breaking the clip and pulling it off. So each one of these is going to be designed for different styles of clips or different styles of areas that you need to either remove a screw or remove a clip or a belt. Besides that, I think that just about covers everything.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Eddie.
No problem.